take me higher on the beach, on the fridge.
Hello everyone, how are you? Even Rose here and welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm going to do a story time for you guys. Are you ready? And also please guys, do not forget to subscribe to my channel. It does help me a lot. Please give me a like, a comment. You can share the video with your friends, with your family if you want. It does help the algorithm of YouTube so I can be more easily found on YouTube and also promoted by YouTube to new pages. So thank you so much guys once again. So today's video, it is a video that brings together a lot of impacts and a lot of moments that have happened in my life. So we are going to be talking about my job. So I'm going to be talking about how I became hostess, how I feel about the industry. So everything started about many years ago when I first decided to move to Bucharest from Craiova together with my family because I wanted to do music. And because of the music, everything started to make sense for myself. It started when I moved to Bucharest by just checking the newspapers from that period of time online, and I found that job that was like in a call center, and I just went to the interview and nothing worked as planned because they offered me a really small salary, and that salary could have helped me to get a rent and also save money and also have proper meals, but it just didn't happen that way. So I went to that interview. I didn't want it to come back, and then my parents were like, you should buy the newspaper and just check there for the jobs. And I actually did that. I took the newspaper on Friday, I remember, because that newspaper with the job series, you could have taken it only on Fridays. So I took that, and then I was checking, and I found that job as a hostess in Old Town in Bucharest. And I went to my father to that specific location in Old Town because it was my first time there, and I just couldn't handle because it felt like it's a maze, and I was just losing myself there. So I took him with me. We went to that place. That place is called Zaraza. That place doesn't exist anymore today. And I went there, and I remember they offered me 25 lei per hour just to be a promoter for that location. I went like 2, 3, 4 days a week, but the money were not enough because they were offering me around, I don't know, 5, 6 hours a day of working, and I was making less and less money day by day because the place wasn't working properly. And that was the first job I've had as a hostess, and then many came because I had a lot of colleagues there and they were helping me out with finding another job and another job. And then the second place I went to, it was called Marabu. It was situated on a hidden street and people were not coming at all there. I had to stay on the main street so I can get people and go with them to the buildings and bring them to that location. I was losing them on the road. It was really rough. And that was, I believe, the start when I started this job, guys. I wasn't paid enough. I mean, I didn't have experience, of course, and it was the beginning of that job. They did not pay hostess really well back then, so you had to like switch locations. I used to go like from one location to another and switching 3 locations in the same day because I was working like 4 or 5 hours for each location. So in total, I was working like 15, 16 hours a day, and I was leaving at home at 4, 5, 6 a.m. in the morning. I was making money, of course, but not like I was making these days in 2026. Also quitting Zaraza because the managers changed, the owner changed, and they offered me a different contract, but that contract couldn't help me at all because they were trying to rob me, and they were like trying to pay me for each table I bring in, and it was like a completely disaster. So I just couldn't stay there anymore. So I switched it. I went to Marabu and I worked only 3 hours a day, 3 days a week, and they were giving me like 50 lei per hour, and it was around 150, but it was only 3 days a week. And it was also not enough because I had the rent, I need to eat, to save money, to fulfill my dreams, because back then I used to do a lot of music, to go to studios, and it just didn't happen. I went there for 2 months straight until I found another location. And I remember I went to Siberian place. It was like I was working like 5 days a week. It was getting better and better, but I was paid like even less than the previous jobs, around 20 lei, I remember, per hour, which was like nothing. I was making around 100 and something lei per day, but it was definitely better than the previous one in total per week, because I was getting more per week and I could have saved money as well. And I stayed there around 1 year. The place was freaking garbage. It wasn't working at all. I mean, it was working only Fridays and Saturdays, because then it was a club. But as a restaurant, it was like completely dead. All the people were avoiding this place. I couldn't understand why. I was so frustrated. The place was really nice and they had a lot of food there, pizzas and everything, Mexican food as well. But the place just didn't work out at all. So I had to switch it, to go to different place, and like that I just changed the jobs and changed the jobs for the better, for the better. And I was going from one location to another, to the third one, so I can make even more money. I didn't sleep at all. My body was exhausted. I couldn't sleep even when I was off because I was too tired. When I started to get old in that industry, all the managers and the owners of the other locations started to get to know me, to see that I'm a good person and I'm trying to fight for the locations to work and to get even more and more people. They're like coming to the locations I was currently working in, and they're trying to get me to their locations so they were trying to offer me more money, and they were just like asking me how much money you want, how much money you're taking here, how much money I can offer you so you can come to my location and everything's going to be perfect. So I actually did that because everyone knows in Old Town I am the best hostess there, I can say that. And everyone was like coming to me and begging me to go to the locations, and it was like really nice guys. I have to admit that, being the best and everyone coming to pray for you to go to the locations, it was like amazing. I'm telling you, I just liked so much that feeling. And I remember after Siberian, I went directly to burgers and shells, and then I changed it with Zamon, where I stayed like 4 years at Zamon. It was a really nice place. Half of the money that I made at Zamon, it was the money that I actually purchased my house with, and it was a really nice period of my life as a hostess, as doing this job. The first 2 years were like excellent years. It was working properly, but the end of the next 2 years, the place was like dead. It wasn't working at all because the owner didn't want to invest any more money in that place. So after 4 years of working at Zamon, I had to leave. There were other people at storage room that wanted me, and they offered me even more money than the place before. And I went there and I worked there for another 2 years, and then that place changed into Prado Garden, where I quit actually 3 times in a row. You know, guys, why? Because you have to go to my previous video to check that out, what happened there, how I feel about that industry. That industry is not for everyone. It is really hard. You can make a lot of money, guys, if you're working many hours a day. I was working 16 hours a day. So in order to make money, you have to work those hours. If you work less hours, for example, let's say 7 hours, you will not get enough money just to save a little bit and eat for that day. So it won't be enough for you. You have to work at least 12, 14 hours a day to make a lot of money, and then just save them. And also to work at least 5 days a week. That industry, it's really tricky. It can affect your brain, your whole body, because you have to stay in the winter outside. I was staying at minus 15 degrees Celsius, and that's not good for your body. It's not like you're living in Alaska and your body is used to just live there in the cold every single day. I was staying in the cold every single day and just not take any breaks kind of at all. It was raining, it was stormy, you didn't have any umbrella, or it doesn't matter if you had an umbrella, it was raining through umbrella on you. And it is pretty hard to do this job all time, all year, not just in seasons, not just like in summer, like students does do this job, because it was like my proper job, so I was doing it all time of the year. And I believe it's even more harder for girls. I don't know how they feel, but as a man I felt awkward. It gives you anxiety and depression every single day, because you meet so many people and they're so disrespectful with you. They do not appreciate you doing this job. Currently, I'm also doing this job. Once again, after I quit from Fredo Garden for the third time, I went to a different place, this time to Costa's Coffee Bar, and I'm working there between 5-7 hours a day. I'm working currently 4 days a week, and I make money, but I don't make the same amount of money that I used to make back at Fredo Garden. But I'm aware of it because I needed a break. My body just fainted. I just couldn't take it anymore. So I had to stop, even though I'm aware that I'm not making the same money as before. But from the next week, I'm going again to check for a second job as a hostess to make even more money than that. But still, I'm not going to work the same amount of hours as before, because I can't take it. It's too much. And at least to make almost the same money as I did before, so I can do my things with it. This place is good. I work 4 days a week. I don't need any umbrella. They don't let me stay in the rain, which is really good. I drink everything I want. I have breaks. I like the owner. I like the managers and the other employees. The place is really chill. It's like a coffee bar. It might be some days when you don't feel okay, you don't feel comfortable with being seen, and you just have to go to work just standing there and smiling all the time, even though you're not happy, and just pretending you had a good day. And because people might feel your energy and you might not get any people inside, and you have to pretend and at least learn how to pretend you're okay and happy, as it happened to me almost every week. And I have to pretend and go on. And I believe this is the life, and I believe all the people are going through this in some period of their lives, and you just have to fight it, because you cannot do anything, only to change the job. And I feel like it's not my moment to change the job, because you guys know I'm working on music. I'm working on my album right now. I'm writing my own songs, so I need to make a lot of money in order to go to the studio and record those songs. So I have to put a lot of faith in everything I do and just do this job and save as much money as I can, because summer is calling and I want to make a lot of money. I also want to film music videos for my songs, and I really need a lot of money and good jobs that can offer me what I actually need, you guys. Many people ask me, for how long do you think you're going to do this job? I don't know, guys. I actually don't know, because each year I say to myself that I'm not going to be here. I'm not going to do this job anymore. The next winter, I'm not going to be there, but I'm always and always coming back, always there, because I'm making money, guys. So this is the reason that I'm staying actually here still, because I'm making money. And with the situation right now in Romania, things are not things are not happening, and you need to rely on good jobs that can offer you real money. Thank you so much, guys, for being here. Thank you for watching my video. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Please go subscribe to my channel, like my video, comment down below so I can know you're a real one. Go share my story with everyone. Love you so much, guys. See you in the next video.
No sleep, no shame. We're dancing in the flame. Heartbeats.